everybody, my name is Luke Marr and this is HauteLeMode, and today on HauteLeMode we are going to be reacting to one of the craziest fashion shows that has happened in the social media age, which is Fredrik Tjærandsen's balloon blow-up dresses. Now, you guys asked me to react to these for like months now, and I kind of was like,
okay, it's like blow-up balloons, like who cares, like whatever, okay.
But as I started to look more and more into this collection, it's actually super impressive, it's super smart, and it's super well done, and I think we should talk about it. But before we get any further into the video, if you guys are looking for a channel that talks about fashion in the most fun, sassy, bitchy, analytical way, this is it. So you can go down below, hit the subscribe button, and turn on my post notifications. I mean, like, what's you have to lose? You're already here. And if you guys want to see even more from me, you can follow me on any of my social medias down below. I'm active, you know, I'm going for it, so enjoy. Now, here on HauteLeMode, we talk about a lot of things. We talk about fashion show reviews, we talk about red carpets, we talk about the things you should buy, we talk about the things you shouldn't buy, we talk about quite a lot. But very rarely do we really get into the nitty-gritty of that like weird world of fashion that shows up on your Instagram or Twitter feeds, and you're like, I don't know how to process this because it's too much fashion, because sometimes like it's too much fashion. And you just wonder, what do I do? What do I do with all of this information? So I thought, Luke, you know what? You need to be a beacon of hope and light for the people and let them know that weird fashion is weird fashion for a reason. Let's dissect it. So we're going to be doing that. And we're going to be doing that with this Fredrik Tjærandsen balloon collection. Now, this collection did come out around June. It did come out during the Central St. Martin's Bachelor's Graduate Collection show. Now, every year, the big fashion schools, whether it's Central St. Martin's, the Fashion Institute of Technology, Parsons, and many, many others, hold these graduate collections where press and buyers can go and look at the up-and-coming designers that are coming out of school. So sometimes people just make collections that they really enjoy. Sometimes people make more commercial collections to showcase that they can work under other designers. And sometimes people just make some crazy shit. And Fredrik Tjærandsen did that. He made some crazy ass shit that honestly worked. It went viral immediately. Everybody was like, what is happening? I don't understand why there is clothing that is blowing up and deflating on my Instagram stories. Like, what's happening? And so I saw it and I was just like, okay, whatever, like it is what it is, like crazy fashion, blah, blah, blah. Like I have more important stuff to do, like tweet out random, ridiculous, mean things. So I didn't really take much notice of it, but after I started to like look a little bit more into Fredrik and his work and his story, I was like, oh, she came that way. All right. Now let's do a little bit of a backstory on Fredrik, who is from Norway originally. Now, as a child, he grew up and he had always loved art. But at the age of 15, he got really into the idea of creating garments and proceeded to get very good at sewing and pattern cutting, which is the basis of making clothing, for those of you who do not know, like some of these designers. Then he went on to find out about Central St. Martin's, which, for those of you who don't know, is probably the top fashion school because the names that have come out of the school are insane. I mean, you have Alexander McQueen, Phoebe Philo, John Galliano, Moalola Ongunlesi. Like, there are the names of fashion coming out of Central St. Martin's. It's just the truth. And so he applied for the Fashion Foundation course, but he didn't get in. So he went into the school's diagnostic pathway, which allows students to try a range of courses before they actually choose the bachelor's program that they are going to go into. While in the course, he studied sculpture a bit, but eventually went into the fashion pathway for his bachelor's degree. When I was doing my research, I was like, oh my God, is he not gonna get in? Like, what's gonna happen? It was like a story I needed to know. During the first year of his fashion pathway, he really started to hone his craft and really like got very good at the sewing and pattern making and, you know, making clothing. Which, like, he should have been good already, but, like, you know, it's good to tune up, get a little bit expert level. But his second year actually allowed him to be much more abstract. And he did really love the sculpture work that he did during his, you know, sort of free range year, and he kept that in mind. So when he was creating his graduate collection for the bachelor's program, he actually incorporated the ideas of sculpture that he had learned. He also thought about, and I quote, unclear childhood memories. He explains that there is this certain fogginess about your childhood memories that aren't really easy to place always in schemes of like time and space, which Honestly, the more I thought about it, I was like, yeah, like that actually kind of makes sense. Like a lot of my early memories, like, yeah, I remember them happening and I might know where they were, but like timeline wise, like I don't remember shit. And so with that, that's something to just know going into this collection. So let's start to like take a look at what's really happening. All right, let's get it started. Okay, so it's a balloon. Cool. All right. It's running down the runway. I do like the little spiral body suit or like shoes or whatever those are. Okay, what's gonna happen? Okay, it's a gigantic condom. It looks like it's deflating though. It looks like it's coming down to Earth. The aliens are landing. Area 51's fashion show has commenced. Oh my god, it's a dead-ass dress. Oh my god, it's a full dress. Oh my... Okay, choices have been made. So from what I've read, when the bubble is inflated, it actually holds onto that idea of this like unclear childhood memory. But when it deflates, Tjærandsen intended for it to actually represent this consciousness that comes about when you're kind of getting into adulthood or you sort of reach this age where you're fully conscious of what's going on around you. I mean, like, listen, that could be some like bullshit answer, but honestly, when I think about it, I think about like being a child and like having these very like unclear experiences where like I didn't know how to react to certain things or like how to go about something in an appropriate manner, but now as like an adult human being, I'm very like, if this happens, I can do this, or I can figure things out in a certain way. So I kind of agree with it. It actually kind of is like a great way of putting that idea into clothing. And I feel like very rarely would anybody think like, oh, that makes sense. Like putting that very, you know, non-physical idea into a garment. Wow, talent. All right, let's continue on. It's definitely not like the most attractive clothing in the entire world, but I also think like you're working with balloons, so you can only do so much. Now, another thing that I've read with these gigantic bubbles coming down this runway is that Tjærandsen actually tested everything on himself. He was kind of nervous that like the models would be a little bit like anxious or like get kind of freaked out or claustrophobic inside the bubbles. So every garment that he made, he actually put on himself. He tested it out because he wanted to see what it felt like from the inside, which I think is very helpful because I mean, like looking at this now, as a model walking through all these people, I would have such bad anxiety that I would like hit somebody, that I would like stab something, or I would like pop the bubble. So I actually think it's quite nice that a designer is not only, you know, making something, but actually is like feeling out how it actually feels to be involved or to wear that garment. I feel like all designers should be doing that, even if it's women's wear. Like, put it on, try it on, make it happen, see what makes sense, see what feels good for you. What would you want in a garment? I feel like that's very important, so I appreciate that. I also read that many of the models said that they actually felt very calm wearing these garments. Like they actually said that being inside the bubble was actually a very soothing experience, where I feel like for me it'd be very anxious, but I guess that's a testament to Tjærandsen's work and like the ability that he cares about the models. And I guess it also plays into that whole like dream-like state that you're kind of getting the models into. I love like the little shoes. Like they kind of make me laugh. I'm waiting for it to deflate. Is it gonna deflate? What's gonna happen? Okay, all right, there's a new purple look coming through. Oh, this is deflating. Okay, I love. Another thing that I also learned is that there are latches actually on these garments, so that's how they stay sort of full of this oxygen, because it is oxygen that is inside the bubble. Okay, so like again, the look isn't super hot. Like, let's be honest, like that top is a bit fucked up, like that skirt is vile. You couldn't actually wear this stuff, but when you think about the idea and like the sort of technology and the thought process that goes into it, like you could use this, to me, in my opinion, as a way to create new everyday fabrics, textiles, you know, styles in general that come from a more abstract idea, but can create something that is much more utilitarian and wearable for the everyday person. So I feel like that's kind of the point of these things. They might not actually look super amazing and wonderful, but they could turn into something much cooler. The other thing is they all have these latches on them, which holds in this oxygen, as I said previously. And that's actually something that Tjærandsen developed himself, which again is very you know, mechanical and technical, whereas I feel like a lot of fashion designers are mostly like cutting and sewing. That is very, you know, intricate and it's technological. And I mean, like, you have to make two for this gigantic balloon arm look, which like it also like totally changes the perspective of arms. I feel like she has some like Slender Man ass arms going on. This is hot. I like the way that the sarong is tied here and there's that big bubble in the center of the chest. Like, that's cute. I could like wear that out on the town, out at night, going to the club. Oh, I don't even know what just came over the screen. It's like Jaws. It's like a balloon. Yeah, it's so scary. Okay, this is like very calm and serene, this red bubble. I don't know if she's gonna deflate. Oh, she's deflating? Is she deflating? She's a deflator. She's a deflator! A deflatolator. It looks like a gigantic boob with a very large nipple. Oh, that's it? Oh, it looks like a piece of dirt, like a clod of dirt. Yeah, no, they're not all perfect. I guess that's a good point to ponder. So this beigey one is coming up. And now a lot of people I feel like are wondering, like, is this sustainable? Is this like plastic? Is this rubber? Like, what are these like balloons made out of? And they actually are made out of natural rubber, not plastic, which is great. They are all sourced from these rubber growers that live in Sri Lanka. And they're actually local rubber growers, so it's not like big corporations going in there and like taking from the people. It's actual farmers that make rubber. The thing is, rubber, for some of you that don't actually know, rubber comes from plants. Like there's a rubber tree, which is a very, you know, common plant that you could buy here in North America to put in your home. And there's actual sap, which has latex in it, which helps create rubber. So like you could make your own rubber if you wanted to. And it is a very natural process to make rubber. Tjærandsen also noted that like each of these pieces needs about 5 meters of rubber to make, which for like the Americans in the room is like 16.5 feet, which is a lot of rubber. Like that's a lot. This black look is insane. Like it's so crazy with these crescent moon arms. I'm obsessed. I need to like be, oh God, it's hitting people. See, I'd be so scared it would pop on the runway. That's terrifying. But it's so cool. It's so cool. I want one that says HauteLeMode. I want one that has an H here. My head is the L and my other arm is an M. Another thing to really note that is kind of the craziest part of this is Tjærandsen's BA collection. Like this is the collection that, you know, you sort of don't really see crazy work like this from BA collections. You normally see this kind of work from MA collections, which are master's collections. That's when you see crazy, over-the-top, innovative work like this. So in reality, this is only the very beginning for him. Like for Fredrik, like this is just the tip of the iceberg. Like we gotta go down, like we gotta get to the depth of this whole idea. And when you think about it, like if he goes into his master's or becomes a creative director, like what, he can make amazing, crazy, over-the-top things. Like I'm so excited to see what he does. If you also think about it, like he filled this balloon and all of the balloons with air, but it's actual oxygen. So the models have like 3 hours that they could spend in those bubbles before they would like probably die. I don't know. Die, yeah, if you don't have oxygen, you die, or at least like faint. Pass out. I don't know. Look at her go in her gigantic Bublé. Her Michael Bublé. Oh my God, imagine if Michael Bublé did the soundtrack to this collection. Bublé for bubbles. Yeah, that's kind of it. I know everybody wanted me to like roast the shit out of this collection. Well, like, this is trash. Bleh. Like, no, I actually think that this collection is kind of brilliant. I think that he's incredibly smart and he's so young. Like he's so young. He did win the L'Oreal prize, which essentially meant that he won the entirety of the showcase because L'Oreal actually like promoted and produced this Central St. Martin's collection. So he did win. So we stand. Claps, claps, claps for Fredrik. I actually just think it's really smart. I think it's really cool. And I hope it inspires other young designers to be like working on creating these kind of textile and ridiculous over-the-top styles. Like we need an answer to Hussein Chalayan. Fredrik Tjærandsen like could easily be that answer. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I think having a lot more information about the collection, it kind of like takes away that whole like viral ridiculousness factor and really like gives you a very clear understanding of what Fredrik is actually going for and how it's really actually very, very brilliant. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. That is the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any other crazy fashion collections you want me to react to, let me know in the comments down below. So yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys in the next video, and TTYL.